Halt! No entrance without proper identification. Detective, I'm wearing my ID. I serve as an example to all.
You attach your Parker Center ID to your suit.
I guess the coroner's office released Hickman's things into your custody. Must be hard to face the family. Is that the little kid's stuff? Tough job facing the family, huh, Detective?
You press the button to call the elevator. You select the 3rd floor as your destination.
I ain't running that out to Hickman's. What do you think I am, your errand boy? What do you think I'm gonna do with that? Run it down to those folks? You gotta be crazy. I'm working here, Junior. You trying to kill me? I got diabetes, Junior.
And not everybody or everything has a sweet tooth.
The door's open. Excuse me, I'm on an important call. Ah, yes. Yes, I understand. No. Now listen. Detective Carey is... Well, yes, that's true. Now, wait a minute. Well, yes.
Block has more important things to do than sit around and eat candy all day.
I don't have time now, Carey. I'll talk to you later. Now, you know that information is confidential. Oh, well, no, of course not. Well, now wait a minute. Well, yes. What's that? Hickman's personal belongings? Why give it to me? It's Hickman's. Ah, yes. Yes, I understand. No. Now listen. What are you carrying that around for? Return that child's belongings at once. Yes, Chief. Yes, sir. We appreciate the support. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. Carey, that's a very nice photograph of you and Hickman, but not now. Carey, come back later. Ah, yes. Yes, I understand. No. Now listen.
You call the elevator. You select the 4th floor as your destination.
Hello, Detective Carey. Life treating you okay?
No need to ring the bell. Teddy is standing right in front of you.
Excuse me, Detective, but that is very annoying. Please don't ring the bell.
A beautiful Los Angeles day. One of the many downtown office buildings gracing the LA skyline. A view of the Piper Tech building. File cabinets full of booking information. Arley McRae, bomb expert, killed in the line of duty. Officer Teddy Baker.
Sir, are you all right? Do you feel faint? Would you like me to call the paramedics?
Hello, Teddy. Teddy, you ever work with the guys over at Air Support? I worked with them the other night. Good guys, all of them.
I've met a few of them. I particularly remember Lieutenant Hale, a real fine officer.
Seen any good movies lately, Baker?
No, Detective, I've been training real hard for the Ironman competition. I haven't had the time.
Baker, do you miss the streets?
Sometimes I do, Detective. But then I think about my kids. You know, my wife just gave me a son, and I can't imagine going back out there. Ever since I was shot, I feel better behind a desk, sir.
How are things going, Teddy?
Pretty good, Detective. Went fishing last week. Got skunked.
How's the property business, Teddy?
Busier than ever, Detective. The amount of crime is unbelievable these days. Good news is, our recovery and arrest rate is high, or I wouldn't be so busy.
I had a run-in with a reporter, Teddy. Did you hear anything about it?
Yes, sir. Everybody was talking about it, and I saw it on TV. It sure looked like you swung at her, sir. I mean, the camera angle and all.
Did you know Hickman, Teddy?
Yes, sir. His work with Crash always had him up here. I can't tell you how many guns he brought through here. It's amazing he lived for as long as he did working that detail. Sir, this is your homicide case. Do you really want me to book this into property? Sir, this looks like an empty regulation evidence baggie. Is it related to a crime scene?
No, Teddy, it's straight from my evidence case.
Well, sir, then I can't process it. Sir, was this used in the commission of a crime? Possibly breaking and entering?
No, it's from my homicide kit. That thing gets so darn heavy toting it around everywhere.
Sir, looks like this thing has been everywhere. Is it to be processed?
Nah, I just thought I'd show you the high-tech equipment the department issues us, that's all.
Sir, is there DNA or blood sampling needed from these?
No, I was wondering if you knew any secrets about putting them on. They're really tight, and it takes forever.
Sir, was this flashlight used as a weapon in a crime? Do you need to book this item into property?
No, Teddy, actually it's my flashlight. What do you think of it? Pretty nice, huh?
Sir, is there anything you can tell me about this chalk? Is it related to your investigation?
I just took it out of my homicide case and gave it to you. You're sharp, Teddy.
Thank you, sir. Detective, was this used in relation to a crime?
No, though it probably could if it fell into the wrong hands.
Sir, this is a qualification form. It doesn't belong in property.
You're right, Teddy. What was I thinking?
Sir, my position is paid for by the city, just like yours. But thank you anyway.
You're right, Teddy. Sometimes I get uncontrollable urges to share.
Detective, was this gun used in the commission of a crime?
No, Baker, it's my handgun. Thought you might be interested in the Beretta. I heard you carried a 5906 Smith & Wesson.
Detective, is this clip crime-related?
Well, no, not unless you think it's criminal how we police have to arm ourselves just to protect ourselves.
Gee, sir, this is your badge. But you're not giving it to me, are you?
No, Teddy, I just thought you might like to see what a detective's badge looks like up close.
Detective Carey, what's with these coins?
I thought maybe you'd like to see what a detective's salary is really like.
Sir, I'm not related to Hickman. This doesn't belong to me.
You're right, Teddy. I guess I'm just trying to avoid the inevitable.
Sir, this doesn't belong in my department, and I sure hope you're not suggesting I go visit the family. I'm really not good about dealing with loss.
The magnitude and viciousness of crime these days is staggering. I just wanted to share my feelings with you.
Sir, this is your memorandum book. This doesn't require booking.
Actually, I thought you might like to see the amount of legwork and attention to detail it takes to be in homicide major crimes.
Sir, these look standard issued. Do they require booking?
They're mine, Teddy. I don't know what I was thinking.
Sir, these look like keys to your car.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Detective, this looks like a picture of you and Hickman. I don't think it belongs in property, but it is a nice picture of you both.
Thanks, Teddy. Just thought I'd share that with you. I know you're quite a fisherman. That picture was taken the year I caught a 14-inch trout.
I see it's that time again. Good luck, sir. I heard your last month's score was a little low. Not that the fellows were talking about it or anything.
Yeah? Well, that was last month.
Sir, how would you like this processed? Is it to be tested for something?
I got it out of the vending machine in the lobby.
Well, sir, I believe the company who services the vending machine is quite reputable. So unless anyone has experienced food poisoning, I would suggest we forego any testing at this time.
Pressing the button, you call the elevator. basement as your destination.
Hello, Detective. How can I help you?
S.I.D. is a large department. This is merely one area devoted to the scientific study of evidence. Julie Chester, S.I.D. criminalist, LAPD.
Hello, Chester. What about fibers found on either of the bodies, Chester?
We're running the standard tests. Looks mostly like dirt from the alley. We'll know more a little later.
What have you been able to establish with the cigarette found in the alley, Chester?
We're in luck there, Detective. Upon testing the lipstick, we found traces of DNA. We're following through on that with additional testing. Find another cigarette with the same lipstick and maybe we'll have our killer.
Chester, have you processed Hickman's body fluids?
They're in the process, Detective. We don't have any results back yet.
Chester, have you begun ballistics testing on the slugs taken out of the Washington youth?
Yes, Detective. As a matter of fact, Hickman's service piece is on record. I'm running a match test. Detective Carey, I view your action as sexual harassment and find your behavior objectionable. Please stop touching me. Detective Carey, if you do not stop, I will be forced to report this incident to my supervisor. Please stop and end this here and now. Sexual harassment is a violation of federal and state law and city and department policy. If you do not stop, I will be forced to contact the sexual harassment counselor, women's coordinator, and file a formal complaint. Detective, I have my own kit, which I might add is a lot larger than yours. Your bags are empty. What's the point?
Put it away, Carey.
The jar is empty of samples. What do you want me to do with it? Detective, S.I.D. has boxes and boxes of gloves, but thanks anyway. There's plenty of light in here, Detective, or are you showing me your flashlight for a different reason? Yes, Detective Carey? Are you making a joke?
No need for that.
What are you doing with that? It's Hickman's. What are you doing with that? The city pays me, Detective. Does this have something to do with your investigation, or are you just making a comment on my salary? Yes, I know you're a detective and I'm not.
Holster your weapon, Detective. No tactical rationale exists for this action.
I drive an S.I.D. van, Detective. Us criminalists don't require fancy cars like detectives do. Are you getting fresh with me?
Chester's information is valid and important, but when the case goes to trial, S.I.D. will provide the reports on tested evidence.
Nice picture of you and Hickman. You know, I like to fish. Everybody has to qualify, Detective. What's the problem? Nervous? Don't be. Just aim and shoot. I don't eat candy. It's bad for my teeth. See you later, Detective Carey.
Pressing the button, you call the elevator. You select the lobby as your destination. A beautiful LA sky. Reaching for the sky is an admirable goal. The Hickman residence. Watch out for splinters. The yard reflects Katherine's love of gardening. The feel of the grass is reminiscent of summer days. Katherine loves gardening, and it shows, Detective. Picking the flowers would make Katherine most unhappy, Detective. Double-paned windows are good insulation for both heat and cold. The windows are clean. No need for you to wash them. It's the front door to the Hickman family's residence. Katherine's green thumb shows. The flowers are beautiful. Katherine would not appreciate you picking her flowers.
Hello, flowers.
Knocking seems less intrusive than ringing the doorbell. What a cute kid Valerie is.
Quit tickling me, Uncle John.
Carey, there's no need to identify yourself as a cop. You're here as a family friend.
Valerie, I brought you a candy bar.
No thanks, Uncle John. We're gonna eat lunch soon and Mom would get mad.
This document is much too important to give to a 7-year-old girl.
Hi, Valerie. How you doing?
Hi, Uncle John. You wanna come in? Mom, Uncle John's here.
The living room decor is friendly and homey. Show a little respect, Detective. Keep your hands to yourself. An original oil, perhaps? Katherine doesn't need an interior decorator, Detective. Lovely wall art. The picture is hanging straight. No need to adjust it, Detective. To the left, the hall leads to the private areas of the house. You could leave handprints on the wall. Watch out. The hall closet.
Hi, John. Thanks for coming over.
How are you, Katherine?
I don't know. I can't believe this has happened. It's like a nightmare. I keep hoping I'll wake up and Bob will be alive.
Katherine Hickman, widow. Katherine appears to need emotional support, not physical contact, Carey.
Katherine, I've been assigned lead investigator on this case. I need to ask you some questions. Are you feeling up to it?
I suppose so, John. I just can't believe this is happening. I don't know what to do.
Katherine, I can't go into the details of Bob's death due to the investigation, but if you have any questions, I'll try and answer them.
That's all right, John. I spoke with that lovely Miss Moore and Mr. Nobles at the coroner's office. I know all I need to.
Katherine, Bob's gun was not found at the scene. Is it here? Do you know if he had it with him the night he went out?
His gun isn't here. I already looked. Bob's captain already asked about it.
Katherine, can you tell me what was going on with Bob? What stress was he feeling? Was it strictly work-related?
He would tell me that he couldn't stand to see the little children and the innocent families hurt by all the street violence. He was beginning to hate the gangs. He was having a hard time staying impartial. John, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't snoop around here like that. It makes me nervous.
Katherine, the department is aware of the fact that Bob was taking...
John, how could you say that about Bob? I'm sorry, I can't talk about this right now.
Valerie looks very sad. Valerie doesn't like to be tickled.
Valerie, do you understand what's happened?
I think so. Mommy says Daddy's in heaven and he's not coming home anymore.
You know, Val, that you always have your Uncle John if you need anything, right? Valerie, can you remember anything that happened the night your dad went out and didn't come home?
Well, my mommy and Daddy were fighting about his work coming home.
Was your dad bringing a lot of work home, Val?
I don't know. He always kept it in the closet.
That's a nice dress you're wearing, Valerie.
Thanks, Uncle John. It's okay.
This table was built by Bob 4 years ago. The wood grain is smooth. You remember when Bob made this table and how proud he was of it. It appears to be Bob's personal items from work. Carey, that box does not belong to you. Leave it alone. Bob's talent in woodcraft is evident with this table. Fresh flowers in the house, so very Katherine. Best not try and rearrange the flowers. They're just how Katherine likes them, Carey. Floor lamps provide excellent light for reading. Yeah, that lamp is hot. Bob crafted this table to match the coffee table. The same fine hardwood as the coffee table. Flowers from Katherine's garden. The arrangement is just as Katherine likes it. Best to leave it as is. decorator lamp. Yipes, that's hot! The shelves contain mementos of Katherine and Bob's life together. Rearranging Katherine's knickknacks is not something she asked you to do. Katherine has wonderful taste in decorating. The cushions are soft.
My mom says I have to eat some real food first before I can have a treat. Are you planning a sleepover, Uncle John?
Detective, what do you expect a little girl to do with those?
You want to go out back and catch bugs? I have a flashlight too. My daddy gave it to me for camping in the backyard. I already got lots of crayons, Uncle John. I already got my allowance.
Detective, Valerie is cute, but that doesn't belong in your case notes.
My daddy has some of those. I have that picture too, Uncle John. I remember you and Daddy taught me how to fish that summer. You work where the chief works? That's neat. Bye, Uncle John. Mom, Uncle John is back. Mom!
Hi, John. Thanks for coming back. I'm sorry I got so upset. I really don't know what I'm doing. Everything is happening so fast.
I understand, Katherine. I hope you're feeling a little better. Katherine, I really need to ask you some questions. Can we try again?
I'll try, John.
Katherine, the department is aware of the fact that Bob was taking sedatives to combat work-related stress. Do you think that Bob could have been abusing those medications?
He combined them with alcohol use, John. He would drink and take the sedatives and become verbally abusive. The pills he took, they're in the closet.
This shelf is cleaner than most. Show a little respect, Detective. Keep your hands to yourself. Lightweight jacket. Mrs. size 8. Denim jacket. Raincoat. Menswear. Weekend wear. Reaching into the pocket, you discover pocket lint. Reaching into the pocket, you discover a prescription bottle. Bob Hickman's prescribed sedatives. Careful, the cap is already loose on this bottle.
Katherine, are these the sedatives Bob was taking?
Yes, please take them out of this house. They cause nothing but grief for us.
Holster your weapon. Are you insane, Detective? If you want to help Katherine with financial matters, it would be best to set up a fund through the department. Katherine doesn't need your pity. Keep the change. Katherine doesn't need to see the tools of your trade at this time. What are you arresting Katherine for, Detective? What has she done? Don't take any notes, Detective. Katherine might feel you're not here for her as a friend. Remember your oath, to protect and to serve. Act accordingly.
I remember that summer well, John. We had a lot of fun. Val learned to fish and I learned to water ski. No, thank you, John. I don't feel much like eating.
Katherine, these are Bob's personal effects. They were released by the deputy coroner.
Thank you, John. Is his wedding band included?
I didn't open it, Katherine. I don't know.
John, this was Bob's Kevlar vest. I'd like you to have it. Maybe it will keep you safe.
Thank you, Katherine.
Bob's personal belongings envelope from the coroner's office. Leave that be, Detective. The envelope now belongs to Katherine. Kevlar bulletproof vest. There is nothing like the feel of Kevlar when it comes to safety.
Please keep the vest, John. I'd feel so much better if I knew you had some added security.
My mommy gave that to you. Don't you want it?
Valerie, are these your dad's?
Uh-huh. My daddy said he got them for work. They made him sleepy sometimes.
Do you know anything else about them?
Just that sometimes they made my daddy yell at me and mommy. And then my mommy would yell back, and sometimes she'd cry.
Detective, this is not your prescription.
John, Valerie hasn't eaten anything substantial today. I'd prefer she not eat candy.
You feeling okay, Valerie?
She's been pretty quiet all morning, John, haven't you, sweetie? She misses her daddy. They both do. Thank you, John. Thank you for coming by.
Beautiful Southern California day. The trees are abloom with the promise of new life. The wind rustles the leaves. Bermuda grass. There's nothing like the feel of grass underneath one's feet. Cracked and broken, this sidewalk is old and in need of repair. The pavement is hot. Normandy Street. Watch out, Detective. You could get hit by a car. The fence is marred with graffiti, an urban blight. The fence feels like wood, as it should. The child looks to be about 5 years old.
Hello.
Apparently she's been taught not to talk to strangers.
I'm a police officer. My name is Detective Carey. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Lysandra.
Do you know your last name?
Uh-huh. Washington.
Can you tell me where you live?
I don't know. I live down the street.
How are you today? Taking your doll out for a walk?
Me and my dolly are having a tea party.
So it's tea time.
We don't have real tea and cookies. We're pretending.
Hello, Lysandra.
Hi. I'm pretending I'm a mommy.
She has a pretty good memory for a little girl. No need to display your badge a second time. This child is not a homicide detective. You are. Keep the kit. Since when is an empty glass jar something a little kid would want as a gift? Detective, she's not infectious or bleeding. Forget the gloves.
You have lots of money. I wish my mommy had lots of money. I get money sometimes for doing chores.
Stop! Why do you think this bottle has a child-proof cap? Detective, she doesn't know how to drive. Keep your keys. You need them. Arrest this little girl? For what? Put the cuffs away. This child has not offered any important information regarding your investigation. Detective, such an important document should not be given to a 5-year-old. Detective, this photograph means nothing to this child. Forget it. She's a beginning reader. Why give this to her?
Would you like a candy bar?
My mommy lets me take candy at Halloween. Is it Halloween time?
It looks as though last year's drought affected this yard. It could use a little yard work, but right now you have a case to solve. The trees in this neighborhood are large. You're too far away from the trees to touch them. The fence is painted red, a known gang color. You're too far away to get a splinter. The Washington home, a modest house in an older neighborhood. The house seems to be of solid construction. Yep, it's a utility pole. No pole climbing today, Detective. You have a case to solve. It's the Washington family car. You have a department-issued vehicle. No reason to take this car, Detective. It's the front door to the Washington residence. Why knock on the door when the resident is right in front of you? Mrs. Bernadette Washington, mother of Bobby and Lysandra.
Hey, mister, knock that off. I'll call the cops.
Hello,
We don't like strangers around here, mister. Get lost or I'll call the cops.
I'm Detective Carey, LAPD, homicide. May I have a moment of your time?
Yes, detective, what is it?
She's an intelligent woman, Carey. She remembers who you are.
Mrs. Washington, I have reason to believe that a young man by the name of Ragtop Spiff might be involved with your son's murder. Does his name sound familiar?
That would be Raymond Jones. Anyone would hurt my child, it would be him. He's always showing off some gun and bragging about big money.
Mrs. Washington, if there's anything the department or I can do, please call.
There's nothing anybody can do. Nobody can bring my son home.
Mrs. Washington, can you tell me when you last saw Bobby? Was he with friends? Did he tell you where he was going?
He was heading out to play ball. He loved baseball. He always told me he was going to make me proud. He was going to be in the major leagues. He was a good boy, detective. Never caused me any trouble. He was the man around this house. He was my little man.
Mrs. Washington, what time of day did you last see Bobby?
He left the house after dinner, maybe around 6:30. Headed over to the field to play ball. He was always over there practicing his pitching.
Mrs. Washington, what can you tell me about gang activity in your neighborhood?
I don't want to end up dead like my son, detective. I've got a little girl who needs me. If you want to find out about the gangs around here, why don't you ask around to some of the young men? Not all our boys want to be part of a gang. Maybe one of them will talk to you.
Mrs. Washington, is there anything the department can do for you?
You can find who killed my son. You can make these streets safe for the children.
You'll be needing your kit on this case, Carey. Don't give it away.
You officers need those nowadays. You need to protect yourselves. I don't take charity. I can take care of my own family. Don't insult me, detective. I work hard, and my family doesn't need any handouts. I don't believe in taking other people's medicine, no matter how badly I'm feeling.
You need your ride, Carey. Keep the keys. Mrs. Washington is a victim of crime, not a criminal. Refrain from taking notes at this time. The situation is sensitive, and you wouldn't want to alienate Mrs. Washington. She has her own grieving to do. She doesn't need to share your loss.
You You take a nice picture, Detective.
She doesn't care that you're due to qualify.
I don't need your special treatment. My child and I are doing just fine without charity.
Mrs. Washington, these are the items found on Bobby's person the night he was killed. I'm so sorry, ma'am.
Thank you.
It's the lucky Mini-Mart dumpster. The dumpster now sports a lock. It can't be opened. Its police banner guard tape torn and useless. Leave the tape, Carey. The 77th Division will want to clear it. Alleys can be great sources of hidden treasure, Detective. No treasure here. Most days, due to the smog, you can't see more than a few miles. Feels a bit smoggy today, rather thick. Post-fire plant life attempts to emerge. The ground is dusty and dry. The surface looks like cinder block, exactly what it is. The surface feels like cinder block, exactly what it is. It's amazing this wall withstood the fire that burned this building down. It's charred, Carey. The cinder block wall is pocked with bullet holes and marked with the same graffiti that decorates other areas of this neighborhood. The graffiti paint is dry. These same graffiti call letters appear elsewhere in the neighborhood. It appears that slugs from a firearm are lodged in the wall. The velocity with which this projectile hit the wall makes it impossible to remove it by merely pulling. Be more specific, Carey. You loosen the slug from the wall. This slug is already loose. Be careful, you could lose it in the grass below. You loosen the slug from the wall. The evidence has been removed. Deformed 9mm slugs taken from the cinder block wall in South Central. The slugs can be felt through the plastic container. These are not decorations to be worn, they're possible evidence. Empty freight containers. This field must be used to unpack stolen goods. As you suspected, all that's left is packing material. This must be a replacement door for the one lost when this place burned. This field has been burned to the ground. Carey, you have better things to do than go on a scavenger hunt. DARE, Drug Abuse Resistance Education, founded in 1983. Climbing the billboard is rather juvenile, and besides, you don't have the time. This sidewalk has seen days of wear and tear. Carey, keep your hands to yourself. This sidewalk is full of spit and chewing gum. This property is the victim of arson. The stone is rough, the concrete hot. Well-lit streets are crucial to citizen safety. No climbing. The colorful building adds a bit of charm to this older neighborhood.
What you looking at?
This looks like one tough kid.
Yo, baby, you kinda queer.
Shit, emo, you be liking you. Shit, emo, he likes me.
I'd like to ask you fellas a couple of questions.
Yo, baby, who be you? Ooh, the man. He's got his credentials. I ain't seen no brass come around here. You want to be showing me something, baby? I'll be talking.
This is a serious matter. I'm investigating the murder of a police officer and a young boy. I'd like to ask you and your friends some questions.
Yo, baby, I ain't got nothing to say.
Are you interested in talking?
Shit, man, I got nothing to say.
I'm Detective Carey, LAPD, homicide. I'm Detective Carey, LAPD. I'd like to ask you fellas a couple of questions.
You be the man. Ask away.
Last night there was a double murder, a police officer and a neighborhood boy, Bobby Washington. Do you know anything that might help us solve what happened to them?
I be knowing nothing. That couple? What do you be doing down here anyway?
Did you know Bobby Washington?
Gee, yeah, that little man was okay. He always be saying he gonna grow up and be the next Dave Stewart.
You a big baseball fan? I see you've got a baseball.
Yeah, baby, I like all them sports. This here ball, I find it. Find it in the field. What's lost is now mine.
If you can think of anything that might help us, why don't you give me a call down at Parker Center? Just ask for Robbery Homicide Detective Carey. You never know when I might be able to repay the favor.
I be hearing you, baby. Yo, I be fly today. Never know when I'm gonna know something that can help.
Son, what is your name?
Herbie Lewis.
Herbie, do you know anything that might help us solve last night's double murder?
Shit, no, man, I was with my granny. You asked her.
Can't think of anyone who might have wanted to see Bobby or the police officer hurt?
Shit, I just live around here, man. I don't know nothing.
So, what's the big deal?
Yeah? I see that stuff all the time. So what?
Can you tell me if you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yo, baby, is this some kind of trick? That's you with your arm around some homo.
I was wondering if the man in the photograph looks familiar to you.
Gee, all you white folks look the same.
Detective, paid informants must first be cleared through the department. Carey, you need not pay for information. No need to pay for information. There is no need to pay for information. This young man has done nothing to provoke such an action. This young man is not threatening your life. Holster your weapon, detective. Detective, there's no reason to give this man 9mm ammunition. None whatsoever. Detective, live ammo and young man don't go together.
No. Shit, he be liking me.
Detective, this kid looks like an artist, but that's no reason to give city supplies away. Giving your chalk away, Carey? This kid is no artist. This young man can get his own baggies, if he is so inclined. What this kid might do with these baggies, you don't want to be held responsible for.
What's your name, young man?
Emo Jones.
Do you live in the neighborhood, Emo? You have an address, maybe a phone number?
Yeah, I live here. 162 South Florence. No phone.
Do you live around here, son?
Shit, I live with my grandma down on Hoover.
Recording information twice is unnecessary. It's a clear day in the City of Angels. In L.A., you really can feel the air. City sidewalks are incredibly durable if you think about it. Find a coin, detective? A concrete pole is effective cover during an armed confrontation. Feels like steel. It's the fenced driveway belonging to the Rainbow Cafe. The fence is locked. It appears to be a victim of arson. Feels rough, as it should. The Rainbow Cafe, a rather inviting little place. Feels like a building should. Customer entrance to the Rainbow Cafe.
Talk is, you're a cop. Cops are bad for my business. My advice to you, keep moving. You got earwax or something? You ain't listening? I don't want your business. You're making my customers jumpy. Like I told you, you're not welcome here. You know, small business people like me are important to this city. I'm gonna call City Hall or somebody if you don't back off. You're starting to piss me off, pal. I got a business to run, and you ain't good for it.